Josh and Caleb.
Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Wearing my Never Sleep Again shirt. Screamworks. uh, Continuing our October series focusing on horror. Is Halloween season, so have to focus on horror. Today we are doing a review. Hope you enjoyed last week's episode. My lights are trying to turn off. Today is a review of Deadstream. Great, great movie. Again, I watched it last year, when they made it, I believe. Or maybe it was shot before then. 2022 is the official release date. But I think it was exclusively on Shudder. But a year later, we have finally gotten a physical media release, and that is awesome. So I'm just going to go through the movie. If you've seen the YouTube channel How to Survive Whatever, he does Scream, he's done a bunch of movies. His channel is how I knew about this movie, and now, almost a year later, it has been released on DVD. I talked about this when I found it, but wanted to do a review. I'm not going to go too in-depth about anything, or show screenshots. I'm just going to kind of talk from the heart, like all the Arthur theme song, from the heart, if you believe. Anyway, love that show. But Deadstream, a Shudder original, directed by Vanessa and Joseph Winter, who Joseph is also the star. He does a great job, and how it is shot. I believe they also edited the movie. Let's see. Where's editing? Editing. They wrote and directed. I believe they also edited the movie as well. Oh yeah. Editors Vanessa and Joseph Winter. If it focus. Anyway, it's right here. Editors. So, they edited, produced, wrote, and directed. That is crazy. And their teamwork was crazy, because she would be watching the monitor, which they did from a GoPro, and it went to this board that the guy in charge of the cameras created specifically for the GoPros, and it would go onto these tablets. She would have to watch it while he was trying to act, and sometimes the GoPro would turn off halfway through a scene. There's a bunch of long takes, which I was surprised by, and she would have to tell him and make sure everything went smoothly. How they made this movie is really beyond me. I'll talk a little bit. Uh, if nothing else, the special features are so good. They talk about each department. The the makeup guy, well, the guy and girl, the guy who did the designs, and then the girl who applied all the makeup. They were great. They have a segment. The Foley artist, which, if you don't know technical term, that is the people who get the sound, record the sound. Because when you're filming, you don't really get footprints, walking on boards and whatnot, or slamming against a wall or whatever. That is the Foley artist. They get all the sounds for the movie. And then, of course, they have a segment with Joseph and Vanessa about how they made it. They actually shot this movie twice. Once with daylight, so they were doing a run through of the first script, and then that was too slow, so they wanted to speed it up. So they finalized all that before they started shooting, which was really smart because I think it helped. You actually see some of the first time they shot it in the daylight in the making of. Uh, and they do commentaries, which I haven't watched yet. I should watch that soon. Monster in makeup, like I said. On the set, test footage and rehearsal, that was the first time. Then cameras and lighting. Also, the lighting team was great. Sound designing and mixing. And the scary stories from the set of Deadstream. So, now that we've talked for 6 minutes, I'll get into a little bit about what the movie is about. It's about this YouTuber who does something really stupid. That's his whole channel. But he does this apology video to get all of his sponsors back and to kick off the channel, getting sponsors again. He wants to do this live stream in a haunted house to get, a bunch of subscribers and to get his fans back again. So he goes into this haunted house. Well, before that, he takes the spark plugs out of his car, throws throws them into the woods. Then he gets into the house, padlocks the door, throws the key down a drain or an air vent. So he's definitely stuck inside the house. And he has this rule: if he hears a noise, he has to investigate, or he will lose all of his sponsors, all the money he makes from sponsors. Crazy premise. How they shoot it is so beautiful because there's 3 GoPros filming him, and then the tablet, of course, he's constantly looking at. So he checks out some rooms and goes through some comments, and then he gets freaked out because he hears a noise. So he breaks something that he thinks is a curse, when in actuality is to ward off evil ghosts. Uh, so then he meets someone, breaks in, and what I don't want to give too much away of the plot, but something happens to move the story along. He meets who he thinks is a viewer, and then you see so many great practical effects in this part of the movie. All the ghosts look so cool. Corner Man, which uh, wasn't going to get a lot of screen time, but he looked so cool they wanted to have him in the movie a little more. And the bathtub ghost and Mildred, I think that's her name, the main ghost. So, uh, and she tricks him into saying this Latin phrase, which basically means she owns him. So, in order, and then he jumps out the second story window, like breaks his leg, looks for the spark plugs to start the car and get out of there. But there's also ghosts outside in the woods, and they come after him. Great sequence with a potato gun. Don't want to give too much away. Uh, and then he realizes after watching some video from the viewers sent in, they has to chop off his finger. Oh, and then, he eventually does that and he thinks the curse is lifted, and then the movie ends with all the ghosts coming after him. Great, great movie. If you're looking for something new this Halloween season, definitely pick up Deadstream at your local Walmart. They have the DVD for $9.99 or the cool steelbook I showed in my video when I got it. That one is $29.95, I believe. I just went with the standard DVD. I'm not some massive steelbook fan. There's the bathtub ghost. Oh, and uh, every once in a while he has to spin this wheel of stupid things to do in a haunted house. So that's a fun element as well. Great movie, well directed. Even though Joseph is mainly acting, you do feel his kind of style throughout, well, both of their styles. Uh, so he wrote this script, had to memorize this script, and then they had to figure out how to shoot it, and she was in charge of the day to day shot by shot, keeping up with that, because I can't imagine the second time you do a take and halfway through the GoPro dies. I can't imagine how frustrating that would be, and to keep your composure, throughout. And the guy who was in charge of all the cameras, he came up with this great wall of tablets. Really, everybody who worked on this gave it their best effort, maximum effort, like Deadpool. Uh, is crazy. Watch the behind the scenes when you get this. Is so good as the movie itself. They really dive deep into how this movie came about. So hopefully they get another feature off the ground. But coming out of the gates strong with this effort. If you're a big fan of practical effects and haunted house movies, this is one you need to check out. And like live stream, I'm like, that sounds really dumb, but how they shoot it and how everything plays out, it was really the best way to do it. And I love that artwork. There's some cool artwork. Alright, let me know down below if you have seen Deadstream and what do you think about it. Probably not what, like, this is probably my favorite horror movie of the year. I'm like way up here on it. I mean, yes, because they use practical effects, and that's the best way to go. They were always going to do practical effects, and it just looks so much better. The fact that they actually both got in the tub filled with water, the stunt woman had to be submerged, and the bodysuit is really heavy, so how they pull that off is crazy. And Joseph, getting cut and crawling through dirt and everything he went through. Great job, and Vanessa keeping up with the tablets and directing everybody, making sure everything is the way they want it to be. So good. So definitely check out Deadstream this Halloween. Alright, that is going to do it for this episode. And that is going to do it. I'm Josh. More videos coming as always. Until then, if I don't see you out thrifting or at Walt Disney World, I will see you at the movies. Bye. Happy hunt. Materialize. Alright. Bye.